Alright, so today we are going to look at a game called Escape the Car and do a video walkthrough on how to escape the car. Now, Escape the Car is a game found through addictinggames.com, and it's one of a whole series of games with, as you can see, no plot, no story, no motive. You simply need to escape your confinement and do it fast. So other versions of the game include Escape the Office, and the instructions consist of click to collect, explore, and solve, and there are very little other directions. So we'll go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we are stuck in a car with barred-in windows, and as you click in the vehicle, oftentimes you'll get notes appearing right here. So if you click the windows, you get some information that the windows are barred. For example, if you click on an area that allows you to zoom in, it'll zoom in for you. So let's say we try to unlock the glove box, and we're informed that the glove box is locked. So to return to the main area of the vehicle, we click the lower portion of the screen, and we'll return to the screen we were facing initially. And by clicking the left and right edges of the screen, we can rotate throughout the vehicle as well as look up at the ceiling by pressing the top of the screen. So first we're going to go through and collect a few items. So to collect items, you simply click on them and they're added to your inventory. So if we click on the suitcase, we can see the things that are in our inventory in the moment, and we can select them and choose the option to use this device. Or once we have multiple items, you can collect them and combine them to build a tool of some sort. So the next thing we're going to do is collect a few items around the vehicle. So if you click around and explore, we can continue to add things to our inventory. So we just added a flashlight. And if you click around to the back of the car, you can actually go to the floorboard and collect a knife. And we'll also want to go ahead and add this key to our inventory. We don't know what the key is for yet. And now, if we look in our inventory, we have 4 items. So we're going to go ahead and use the knife. And we have this seat cushion back here, and we can go ahead and cut the straps. So the seat cushion moves to the side, and when you go in, you can see a keypad here, but we don't really know the key code. So if we click enter, it says that there's an error. So we're going to have to figure out the code. But before we do that, we can move up to the ceiling and use the knife once again. And we added a wiring guide to our inventory. So if you want to look at the wiring guide, in case of wiring fault, remove the panel underneath the steering wheel and observe the connections. Just ignore the fact that wheel is spelled wrong. But anyway, that should be helpful in the future. So the next thing we're going to do is, we already tried to get into the glove box and it was locked. So we're going to try the key that we collected. So we have flashlights, batteries, and electrical tape. So now we can use the combine feature to create a functioning flashlight. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is something that's a little bit tricky. So it took me a while the first time I played the game to figure out the code to the keypad in the back seat of the car. But if you look closely, the E for empty on the gas is strangely circled in red. And even though the car is in park, we have the speedometer set to 40 miles per hour. So E40 is actually a very important code for us. So we can move to the back seat, and we're going to try E40. So now we're actually in the trunk, and it says that it's too dark to see anything from within the trunk. So we're going to use that flashlight to light the back of the trunk. And you'll notice that there's a crack on the tail light on this side. So if we actually click, we collect a second key, which is actually the ignition key. However, if we try to use the ignition key at this point, nothing happened. So we're going to try to use the wiring guide. It said that it would be underneath the steering wheel. So this is the panel under the steering wheel. So now we can use that screwdriver that we picked up initially. And we see that there are a lot of wires that are cut underneath the steering wheel. So if we look back at our wiring guide, only the red, blue, gray, and green wires should be connected. Also ensure to cover the connections with black electrical tape. So we will just connect red, blue, gray, and green wires. And we collected electrical tape from the glove box. So we can use that electrical tape to cover our wires so that they will safely work. All right. So now let's go ahead and try the ignition key again. Alright, so our ignition key has now worked. The car's electricity has been turned on. So we're actually going to head back below the steering wheel because we're still stuck in the vehicle. But we can actually pop the trunk now. So if we move back and crawl through the back seat once again, we can see that the trunk is open and you have escaped the car. So that's all that there is to it. Thank you guys for watching.